The Wendy Williams versus Kevin Hunter situation just got even nastier, and it looks like Kevin has been doing Wendy dirty for years. And no, I'm not just talking about his affair with Sharina. Some new allegations just came to light that claims that not only did Kevin cheat on her and have a baby on her, but he also allegedly teamed up with the producers of the Wendy show to allegedly Wendy and trick her into a conservatorship. Now, we've known for a hot minute that Kevin is after Wendy's money, but this new information could mean that he has been plotting against her before they even got divorced. So how exactly did they Wendy without her figuring it out? And was Sharina the mastermind of this nasty plot? Let's talk about this. Okay, so Kevin Hunter's affair with Sharina Hudson was no short-lived flame. This betrayal stretched on for over a decade, starting way back in 2008. According to reports, Wendy discovered the infidelity when she found suspicious text messages on Kevin's phone. But even though she knew that he was moving shady, she chose to stay in the marriage. This decision took an enormous emotional toll, causing her to struggle with feelings of betrayal, anger, and sadness. But don't think Wendy was just sitting around doing nothing. She'd been plotting her exit strategy since 2012. She was planning to divorce Kevin for years, before she actually pulled the trigger, because she was fed up with his constant cheating and didn't want to keep bankrolling his affair. The final nail in the coffin of their marriage came in 2019. That's when the news broke that Kevin had fathered a child with Sharina, and it was the last straw that pushed her to finally file for divorce. So in April 2019, after 21 long years of marriage, Wendy finally called it quits. She filed for divorce, but these things don't happen overnight. The divorce wasn't finalized until January 2020. That's 9 months of legal battles and emotional turmoil. Wendy's decision to file wasn't just about ending her marriage. It was a strategic move. She wanted to make sure she wouldn't be financially responsible for Kevin and his mistress for the rest of her life. Smart thinking, right? Throughout this ordeal, Wendy struggled to maintain her public persona while dealing with personal turmoil. She threw herself into her work, using her talk show as a distraction from her crumbling marriage. Unfortunately, Wendy's story took a dark turn, revealing a plot far more sinister than simple infidelity. New rumors are saying that Kevin allegedly orchestrated a scheme against her for years, and he wasn't working alone. The producers of The Wendy Show were allegedly involved too, and their goal was to make Wendy appear unstable and erratic on air. The group devised a method to Wendy without her knowledge targeting her daily cup of tea. And I mean that literally. According to blogger Storm Monroe, before each show taping, they allegedly spiked her tea with carefully chosen substances that were undetectable when mixed in, and these were meant to gradually alter Wendy's behavior on camera. Allegedly. Anyway, 5 tapings a week. Every single taping. She always had what? Her cup. What was in her cup? Her tea. Now, a lot of the audience and the public assumed she was putting some whiskey in there. She had liquor. Sometimes it was wine. No, baby. It was tea. It was tea. And even though she put her own tea bag in there, and she would drop her own cough drop in there, she was not the one heating up the water and bringing it to the actual desk, so whoever was in charge of her hot water to be there, ready for her to dip her tea bag in, that's probably who y'all need to look at. I can't say no names, but that's all I can say is that she was literally being drunk through her tea, that she drunk every single day. Okay. The effects of this secret drinking became visible to everyone. The show. Wendy's behavior grew increasingly erratic. She slurred her words, experienced memory lapses, and acted out of character. Viewers started to speculate about her mental health and potential addiction issues. The truth was, Wendy's apparent addiction issues weren't real. They were a direct result of the substances she unknowingly consumed. The erratic behavior everyone saw on air was caused by her tea, not by any personal struggles Wendy faced. Whatever they was dropping in there to drop Wendy, to make her look loopy, to make her seem loopy and delirious, so she could eventually be pushed into a conservatorship. She started to have negative effects with it, okay? The reason why her lymphedema started to act up was because of what she was being drugged with. When Wendy was falling over the chair and calling out to her mom even after her mom had died, she was being drugged. She didn't know it. She wasn't aware of it, otherwise she wouldn't have been drinking out of that cup. Now what they drove with, what was the dosage? I don't know. Just know there are many different ways to people, and in this industry they have them. Okay, if you're wondering why on earth they would do something so nasty, the story gets even from here. According to reports, Kavanaugh and the production team allegedly planned to make Wendy appear unstable enough to justify a conservatorship. If they convinced everyone that Wendy couldn't take care of herself, they could maintain control over her and her assets. That being said, she started to exhibit more and more erratic behavior on air. People thought she was drunk. People thought that maybe she was back using. Total Nephedemic continued to act up, but it was all a plot between Kevin Hunter Production and of course the bank Wells Fargo to eventually lock Wendy in a conservatorship and, to make her look crazy. Just it is what it is, the secret took a severe toll on Wendy's body and mind, causing a rapid deterioration of her health. She experienced frequent dizzy spells and fainting episodes directly linked to the unknown substances in her system. During tapings of her show, Wendy's speech became slurred and confused, leading viewers to speculate about her mental state. The drug also worsened Wendy's existing health conditions. Her lymphedema worsened, causing increased pain and swelling in her arms and legs. Her thyroid condition, which had been previously for years, suddenly spiraled out of control. These complications contributed to her erratic behavior and made it difficult for her to function normally. But that's not all, because there were also rumors that Wendy allegedly suffered significant memory lapses that shocked those around her. In one heartbreaking instance, she forgot her mother had passed away. This wasn't a simple slip of the mind, but a direct result of the substances affecting her cognitive function. But her mental health wasn't the only thing that suffered, because the physical effects of the drugging were visible to everyone watching Wendy's show. Her weight fluctuated dramatically during this period, further complicating her lymphedema and causing additional discomfort. The drugs didn't just mess with Wendy's career, they took a serious toll on her body too. And it wasn't long before we started hearing talk of conservatorship. The conservatorship scheme against Wendy Williams started with a calculated move by Wells Fargo. They froze Wendy's account, claiming she wasn't of sound mind. This cut off her access to her own money, making her vulnerable to manipulation. It was the first step in an alleged larger plot involving Kevin Hunter, the production team of The Wendy Williams Show, and the bank itself. The plan was extensive and far more reaching than initially realized. They wanted to keep Wendy medicated but functioning enough to work. This would allow the network to profit from her, while maintaining control over her life. The conservatorship trial raised serious red flags. Wendy was denied legal representation and wasn't even present for the proceedings. This reminds us of the tactics used in other high-profile cases, like Britney Spears' conservatorship. In Britney's case, she was also kept working while under strict control. Her father had power over her finances, career decisions, and personal life for years. The similarities between these cases highlight how conservatorships can be misused to exploit celebrities for profit. The masterminds behind Wendy's conservatorship had a clear goal: to exploit her popularity while keeping her under their thumb. They could make decisions about her finances, career, and personal life without her input. By maintaining the appearance that she could work, they could continue to benefit from her success. But the plan wasn't foolproof. Cracks started to show when Kevin Hunter was removed from the conservatorship plot. This suggests there were internal conflicts, even between them, and Kevin was the first to get kicked out. With that being said, at some point Kevin was kicked out of this plan to put Wendy in his conservatorship. So think about who was all involved with this production. And by production, I mean production/the network, right? Wells Fargo, and then of course Kevin, but Kevin got kicked out the circle. Kevin got kicked out of the circle, and then the white folks took over. And from what my source is telling me, it's not even just that the white folks took over, it's that them people are gonna always stick together, chow. It looks like Kevin got played big time. This kind of explains why he went off on Wells Fargo in 2023, saying Wendy was in rehab, and these people just stopped depositing my money cold turkey. These people have tried to starve me out. At the end of the day, I earned that money and I'm not letting them take it. I know she is not in a good place, and she is surrounded by people who are taking advantage of her condition, including this so-called guardianship. It looks like he held up his side of the bargain, but he got screwed over big time. He thought he was going to make millions of dollars, but he ended up so broke that he publicly begged Wendy for money to pay his bills, saying, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money, since the severance payments were suspended. My life has been greatly affected since the plaintiff stopped making payments under our settlement agreement. The fact that I'm able to sustain my life and pay my bills in order is extremely urgent to me. I cannot pay my bills and sustain my day-to-day living child. He got played big time, and it's kind of hard to feel sad for him knowing how he played in Wendy's face and allegedly set her up to get ruined. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.